Good Minecraft morning and welcome back to another 10-minute tutorial with Zeba here on the testing grounds. And today we're going to be working on something pretty cool. If you were watching Twitter, then you would have seen that Prowl, you know Prowl, look right here, boom, right up there. Prowl actually sent out a tweet asking for some people to design a system that would actually empty their shulker boxes and then put them back into a place to be loaded all automatically. So a complete automatic system, a complete automatic system for unloading and reloading shulker boxes, and that's exactly what you see behind me here. So today we're going to be working on that, and all these items right here in front of you are all we're going to need. Stick around to see this happen. Okay, all the items we see right here in front of us are the ones that we're going to be using for this particular build, and it's not too complicated, actually. It turned out to be a lot simpler than I thought it would be. It just had one modification at the end from my original prototype that I kind of built for them, and let's go ahead and get started. We're going to build this in two parts. The first part is going to be what's basically on the left side of this one. That is the unloader, and then we're going to focus on building that one and then connecting it to a second part that would be the basically reloader. All right, we've got everything we need, and we went ahead and set up a little bit of a base perimeter here so we know how many spaces and blocks we need to fit this project into. According to Prowl, we needed 9 across and 4 from where the hoppers or the the shulkers pop out. So 4 back this way, and then we've got our last little perimeter area right there. So I like to start backwards normally on most of my my redstone projects. That's the idea of coming up with what you want to accomplish in the end and then working backwards. But in this case, I kind of already did some of that because I had previously built the loader, and so that's not a problem. Be sure to check out that video there. But I needed to start over here, and what I like to do here is figure out first how in the world I'm going to power this guy. So we're going to have a hopper coming in here, and we're going to feed him shulker boxes, and we want to make sure that this spits out all the shulker boxes that arrive into it, and that it's not constantly running even when there are no shulker boxes in it. So what I had to do is come up with a little bit of modified design from what I've previously used. Normally I would use a comparator here, reading the signal from here, and then we do our repeaters and kind of redstone dust and around, make a little clock that comes over next to it and ticks away. But that design did not work with the rest of the build that I needed to do, and so I had to modify it. So we're going to start kind of in a traditional sense with that right there. And we're going to place a block here, and let's go ahead and give a little bit there. And before I forget, I know already that I'm going to need to replace this block with a sticky piston later on in this project. And so I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. Let's just get rid of you for now. We'll come back to you. So we're going to break this guy, and we're going to put a sticky piston right here, right there, and we'll knock this one out. Just a placer block, really. That way we don't have to come back and break this later on. So I know that this is coming through here, and now we're going to use a redstone repeater to basically amplify that signal a little further, and we're going to come into this block right here. Now what we're going to be using to power this on and off is actually these observers. And so we're going to make a little observer clock. Anytime you have an observer face looking at another observer, it does this constant tick, 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 which is going into this block, which is firing this guy. So we can actually toss some carrots in there, and you'll see, yep, all the carrots should be gone. And once it's gone, it won't do anything, obviously, because there's nothing in it. But we need to make sure this turns off, too. So we're going to use a sticky piston right here. And he's going to reach out and grab this guy whenever he gets power through that mechanism there. So it only gets power when there's something in it. So let's toss that in there. There we go, and grab all these carrots back. And you'll see once those carrots are gone, that will retract, and then we have no more power going to that guy. So it's no longer annoying ticking. So we got that solved. Perfect. And that's really compact. Normally I've done this in a straight line. It works the same way. It's just one block out this way further. But I needed to fit it in with this particular perimeter right here. That's the end of it. And so that fit perfectly by turning that corner. Fantastic. All right, the next thing we're going to know we need to do, we need to power this guy. So we got to keep that in mind. And so what he's going to do is he's going to be pushing out our hopper that's going to drain. Let's do one more placement block here. It's going to drain out our I can't use words. He's going to drain out the shulker box. So we're going to put that right there. So he's going to push that out and drain it out into the hopper line that's coming off this direction here. And it's going to go as far as we need it to go. There we go. We'll just use that many for now. So right now, I'm going to go ahead and pull that back by using a block here, like so. There, and there we go. So problem number one would be if anything gets put in here, it's going to immediately go into this hopper that doesn't get shot out. So we got 4 carrots in there. Not good. We don't need that to happen. So we're going to need to block him. The easiest way to block it is actually with that guy right there. And so we're obviously going to need to move these over. I was off by 1. So let's move you over here. Doot, doot, doot. There we go. So you're going to push into this guy now. So we need to face you differently like that. There we go. So anything that gets pushed in here and gets set on top of that hopper is going to drain into this hopper line there, which is exactly what we need. So again, the shulker is going to go right here where that glass pane is. So we're going to need to pull a signal from that shulker, and we need to lock that hopper first. So we're going to do that through a full block right there. The comparator can read a signal through a full block. So shulker comes here, it's going to have items in it. This will determine whenever that is actually empty or if it has items. If it has items, it's going to light up. It's going to create a signal. And so what we're going to need to do now is we're going to create basically a little time circuit that's going to kick on and off. There we go. Depending on if this circuit is complete or not from this shulker having items in it. And so the way I solve this problem is actually using a dropper. And we're going to use a dropper right here, like that, going into a hopper. And so this currently, if we put an item in here, let's just do a carrot because it's awesome. Carrots are good, nutritious. So if this has power, this block is going to be pushed out here. Whenever that block loses power and the piston retracts, it's going to create a redstone pulse that's going to signal, shoot this guy out. And it's going to shoot it into this hopper, and this hopper is going to kick it right back in to this guy, even though this block is still here. So now we can actually take a comparator output from him. This is going to give us one single tick. We're going to go right in here to there. We can place this on top of that. Not a problem there. And we're going to go here into where our sticky piston is going to sit. I think I need to go up one more. At least. Yeah, like that. And then we can actually put our slab on there. That's just your general shulker smasher setup, just like that. So we need to get a little bit more power up here. And there we go. Again, let's trace that. So shulker gets kicked out here. This determines that, hey, there's a signal coming through. So fire this piston out until that signal goes away. So as long as there's an item in the shulker box, then this will extend. Once it retracts, it'll fire this dropper, which gives us one signal pulse out of this guy, firing through there, which enables this guy to pop down 1. And so I think it's actually a good idea if we put this on 4 ticks, so it's slightly delayed. That way we don't smash it too early before this guy gets retracted. So we need to find a way to let that guy, this piston right here, to extend whenever this is extended. And so we can do that pretty simple by adding in a little line right here. We're going to use the repeater so that we don't get any conflicting signal with this guy coming right through here. So once this block gets moved over, it's going to press that piston out, which allows this guy to come forward. So let's go ahead and grab a shulker box. I'm going to get rid of some of those. And we'll just grab this shulker box right here. Toss another one down. That should have 16 carrots in it. Yep, let's do a couple of these. There we go. And we'll toss both of these in there. There's one with 16, one with 16. Oh, yep, it didn't stop. We need to check that system. So, should go here. There we go. Is that a dropper? Did I use a dropper? Is that what the problem is? You're a dropper. You need to be not a dropper. You need to be, what's it called? Where are you? There you are, dispenser. That's a problem, folks. We can't do that. Are you a dropper too? You are. So you need to be a dispenser as well. That's where the other shulker is going to go. Now it should work. Let's check this out. And hey, it works. Yay. Let's go ahead and grab that while we're waiting. And so once that empties out, you should see this guy get moved back and then that pop down. Now it landed right here because there's a big gap here. But if we just put some glass up here, like that, and glass around here, it won't be a problem at all. So now it should go straight down to where that other one's down there, and we can actually catch it down there in just a second. Okay, are you empty? You might be an empty one. Don't want the empty one. There we go, like that. So once that gets drained out, all of our items are going that way, and then that gets kicked down to where we can retrieve it in a minute. I'm going to go ahead and break these just so we can maneuver around in here. And that's pretty much it. That is the unloader completed. All right, now what we need to do next is we need to build our line that's actually going to go over here and feed this guy. So what I do know is we're going to actually use a dropper ladder, or dropper elevator, technically. So let's go ahead and do that. And it's going to come from where these guys fall down. They fall down right here in that area, and we're going to go 3 up. 1, 2, 3, just like that. So let's clear out some of this space that we can maneuver under here, and we'll have to put the hopper back in just a second. There we go. And hopper goes back there. Sweet. So we're going to use a little hopper right here to catch those items, and then we can actually block all this off with any block of your choice. You can use glass if you like. I like glass because it's neat. You can see through it, and we can fill all of this gap in so that we don't get any falling out anywhere else like that. So any item that gets put into these hoppers, technically our shulker that gets broken, falls down in here and gets put in here. So we're going to need to build an item elevator up, and we're going to need to do a comparator output. So anything that gets tossed into this dropper is going to send out a pulse. And we're going to go ahead and use a pulse here on 1 tick there. And then we're going to loop that back around. That's going to create a clock in itself. And so you can see if we just toss one item in that it does tick over and over because there's an item in here. But we're not currently firing this guy, and we need to do that. So we're going to need to build up our redstone just a little bit. So if we just connect this over here like that, then it'll only fire once and things tend to get stuck right in here. So we're going to need to create an extra little circuit right over here that gives us one more tick, and we're going to turn that into subtraction mode like that, and that should fire everything up from there. And we're going to need to run it up to connect there. So that should work as far as our technical clock goes. And once we do that, it should kick everything up nice and easy all the way up to this dropper, a hopper that puts it into this dispenser. Fantastic. So anything that gets dropped in here, 1, 2, we should have both of them show up in here. 1, 2. We don't get any stuck in this thing. So this is a really easy circuit, really simple circuit. It's perfect design for that. So there's the circuit design. Use that, freeze frame that, whatever it might be. And the next thing we're going to need to do is to create our loader, basically. And we're going to use the same system I created in the previous episode of the 10-minute tutorial. Using the same method we had over here with our clock that helps the dispenser empty itself out, we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to have to change the angle up just a little bit to modify and fit into this particular area. So again, we got items coming up, and now we need to dispense them. They're going to come right here where this guy's at. We're going to place a block. That's where your shulker is going to go. And we're going to actually feed it from the side so that we can crush it from the top. So this is a little bit safer, but if you like the design where it kicks it from the back, then that's fine. Go ahead and do that one too. So we're going to go ahead and build this up pretty much the same way that we built that up over there. Oops, I need to get down here like that. We're going to tear you down, toss you there. That's going to be the crusher system in place right there. And this is going to be where our input line from our farm or whatever might go. And so we're going to need to take a comparator output. So let's go ahead and put a placement block there. And we're going to use that there to cover that. We're going to do here. So we need to take a comparator output from our dispenser first so that we can create the clock for it. And again, we're just using the same idea over here. We're just changing it to fit in this area just a little bit. So we're going to go there and then actually leave that one there. And we're going to go here like that. We're going to put a sticky piston there and repeater there. And we should have our observers. So one of them should be facing this direction here. Yeah, that was right. Oh, broke it again. There we go. And the other one should be right here facing this guy like that. So that should continuously fire off our dispenser there. So any items we get put in should come out nice and easy. There we go. Yep, perfect. And then that guy retracts once there's nothing else in that dispenser. So this is our full system there. I know we're getting some power over here to this guy. Not a big deal. It looks like we caught our Shulker, our first one, before we fixed our problem over there. But yep, so this guy's going to get power. It's going to stop him a little bit, but it's not too big of a deal because it only happens every now and again. And so I'm not too concerned with that. I haven't seen any problems come from it long term. All right, so we're going to need to finish out the circuit over here for the, not the dispenser, for the Shulker reader. So we got here, and we're going to need there comparator pulling a signal from our Shulker box. And let's go ahead and toss our Shulker box there. So he's already getting power, which is okay, except for the fact that we don't want him to get power when he just has 16 in there, like this current Shulker boxes do. We only want power to go through whenever he's completely full, so we can trigger this crusher here. So what we're going to need to do is add off to the side. We could do this pretty easy. Do that there, and we're going to need a lever right here. And we actually put this on the bottom and flick it there. So what that's doing is that's powering up basically like 16 blocks, 15 here. So we're getting just shy of a full Shulker box worth of signal coming into this side. This comparator, since it's receiving a signal from the side, it will not allow this signal to pass through until it's stronger. So the comparator compares two signals. One signal coming from this direction, one signal coming from this direction. Whenever this signal is strongest, it will send a pulse forward, which is exactly what we want. And so in this case, we're going to go ahead and use a redstone block right on there. And then we're going to build up this area right here. And then we can just run our redstone dust line over to fire that piston. And so that's pretty much it right there. Now, the reason I put this on the bottom is just to keep it within the frame of this build. Again, if it's on the side, it's not a big deal, but it is one more block over. So if you're limited on space, just put it on the bottom. It's fine. It works the same. Okay, so, and we actually technically don't need this block there, and need that one there for sure, but don't need this one. So you can remove some of those blocks if you like all this open space. I like to fill things in if I can, so that my Shulkers don't end up going random places. It drives me crazy, so I like to kind of cover all of this stuff up, just to make sure those Shulker boxes don't go flying. You never know. Things, just weird things happen, right? And so we don't want any issues to occur. So there we go. Now, we've got a Shulker box coming here, so we actually need to catch that with a hopper. So let's go there. That's all it takes right there. And then we can cover all of this up here like that. Cover this up back here like that. And then we should be pretty secure on where that Shulker box should end up. Now, again, this is going to be our line where you're going to have your carrot input or something that's going to feed into this Shulker box right here. And let's go ahead and cover that up. It will not fire this guy off because it's going to take a long time for him to fill up. I'll show you real fast. We'll break that. He's only got 40 in here, so I'm going to cheat and use another box right here that I've already got. And let's go ahead and clear our inventory real fast. There. Box here. This box has everything except for it's missing the other 32 from the end there. So let's grab a couple of these actually, and we're going to feed them directly into this guy. So again, this is like they're going to be empty coming over here. They'll get kicked up and they'll get dispensed right here. So let's go ahead and toss it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 Shulkers in there getting dispensed right here. And you can see that he's nearly full, so we just, and it's trying to fire the next ones because they're in there, but it won't until that one gets crushed, which is perfect. And I probably need to delay. We'll see if it works without the delay. And I need to add my hopper back in here like that. And now we can toss in our carrots. Did I have carrots? I need to grab some out of the box. It should be enough. 1, 2, 3. 3 stacks. And as these guys get filled up, they should get crushed, fall down in there, and end up in this chest completely full. Like that. There it is, guys. If you need another review of it, please rewind it, watch it again, share it with your friends. Give it a thumbs up if you like this video. I really appreciate it. Subscribe to my channel. Guys, thank you again so much. Check me out on Twitter, check me out on Instagram, and also check out my other videos. You guys have a fantastic day. Good luck building.